Okay, I do believe we are on the air, and you're going to have to wait for a second here because my flip-flop is caught in my cord. Okay, I do believe we are on the air.
Why is that playing?
And you're going to have to wait for a second here because that got on there too. Oh, well. Hello, and welcome once again to Shooting It with Yankee, or Yanking It with Shooting, or Shooty, or whatever people call it. What's the other one people call it? I forget what the other one was. Yanking It with something. But this is my weekly question and answer live chat where people get to ask me pretty much any question they want to ask me. We did one last week with politics, but this week's just back to normal, everything, whatever you want to ask me, gun stuff, etc. Mostly gun stuff, usually. If you've got any questions for me, this, like I say, is just a back and forth conversation between me and my viewers. So if you got, I got to set this off top. It keeps setting itself to top chat. I like to have live chat so that I can see more of the messages. But of course, that makes them harder to read because they shoot by real quick. But if you got any questions for me, you can send them over to shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. Shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. Or you can, if you want to donate to the Puppy Fund, you can hit that little dollar symbol down there, do a super chat, donate to the Puppy Fund, and then a question you want to ask, you can type in, it'll pop up in a little colored balloon up here so I can't miss it. Those get priority because they donate to the Puppy Fund. So let me see if I've got any questions coming in yet over on the email side, and we'll get started. We got a couple hundred people in here now. Usually takes a while for it to get up to speed. But they always can watch from the beginning. But here's one thing I'll tell everybody. If you come into one of these things and it's already started, hit the little live button and go to where it's live. If you're going to watch while it's still live, you might as well watch the live part. You don't want to be watching the part that was 10 minutes ago. You don't want to be like 10, 20 minutes behind the rest of the chat. Just start watching it live. And then if you want to see what you missed, which was nothing, I can almost guarantee it, you can go back later and watch the beginning. But always come in and hit the live button to make sure you can watch it live if you're going to be here. Let me go over here to emails and see if there's any questions. Madman Al or all Madman all. I don't know. USCCA commercial to start my chat. Well, that sucks. Of course, I probably won't see any revenue from it, but Madman all, I guess that's what that says. I'm about to buy my first revolver for CCW. And I'm stuck between the Smith & Wesson Model 60 Pro Series 3-inch versus a Smith & Wesson 686 3-inch. And what would you choose? Oh, 3-inch. What would you choose? And would it be for it would be for everything new CCW hiking bedside car gun. I found them both around the same price. So it isn't a problem. I would like to know what you would choose. Well, definitely the 686, especially if you get a 686 plus, because then you get 2 extra rounds over the Model 60. It is bigger, but it's a revolver, so it's still easy to conceal. People always think revolvers are harder to conceal than like semi-autos. It's the opposite way around, to be honest. So definitely the 686. Who's texted me? Boy, I'm getting a bunch of texts. Let's see here. I got a question. What the fuck is going on? I got 6, 7 text messages all in one time here. What's going on? Let's see here. Let me go back over here to the questions. Stefan Malachi, whatever how you pronounce that name. He donated $1 to the Puppy Fund. Didn't ask a question. I don't think you can ask a question at $1. I don't know. 3/4 footer. Boy, real creative. Changed the name today. Shooting it on the blankie. No, not shooting on Yankee. Shooting with Yankee. Labby 2 is saying, "Hey Yankee, do you think pineapple belongs on pizza?" God, no. That's so gross. I just hate that. There's lots of things that belong on pizza. That's not it. Artichokes is not one of the things that belongs on pizza. Nothing like that belongs on pizza. Now, I like savory and sweet together. Like I love grape jelly on patty sausage. I like syrup on regular sausage. I like syrup on bacon. I I like honey on ham. I like savory and sweet, but I don't like pineapple on pizza. I think it's gross and I don't think it belongs there. So yeah, like the other day, I had like a dozen 14-year-old kids in the apartment upstairs having a sleepover with my son. I just didn't round up a bunch of 14-year-old boys and bring them over here. And they were ordering pizza. I said, who wants what on pizza? And one of them said, Hawaiian. And I was like, no. I was like, anything else? So no, I do not think pineapple belongs on pizza. It's gross. I love pineapple. Don't get me wrong. I'll sit and eat a whole fucking pineapple in one setting. I like pineapple, but not on pizza. And I like pineapple with cottage cheese too. That's the only way I'll really eat cottage cheese is if it's got pineapples in it. Stefan Maloche says, I picture him wearing a scarf, like a really tight-fitting long-sleeve shirt and a scarf with that name. After your video on 10 millimeter and 1911 being made for each other, I have to ask, what do you think of the SIG Elite 10 millimeter? As it is the only ammo I can get. What? SIG Elite 10 millimeter is the only ammo I can get in my area. Oh, I don't really know a lot about the new SIG ammo because I haven't had a lot of experience with it. I don't even know if anyone's done a lot of testing with it or not yet. I used to go to who was it used to do all of the ammo testing, but doesn't do a lot of it anymore. I forget, but I used to go to his channel. That doesn't do any good. I think everybody knows who I'm probably talking about, but he doesn't really do that much anymore. Paul Harrell never tests the fancier ammos or the trendy ammos. He just goes with like similar ammos when he does his tests. So I got no experience with it. I mean, I can't imagine it's bad. Can't imagine SIG would put their name on it if it was not good ammo. I don't even know if they manufacture it or not, if they just like buy it from Hornady or something and stick their name on it. So I'd have to research that first. But I just can't imagine they put their name on it if it was horrible. Mark Livingston, that's a name I can actually pronounce. Looking to carry a detective special, having problems finding suitable ammo that performs properly. Any recommendations? Also, is it safe for plus P? Yes, it is safe for plus P. It's an all steel gun, so it is safe for plus P. I wouldn't worry about that. I've asked the manufacturer many times on those guns, and they're all like, every one of them is, if it's made of metal, it's okay for plus P 38 special. Polymer might be a different story, but if it's made of metal, it's okay for plus P. And what I recommend is the Underwood Extreme Defender. I'm not as big a fan of the Penetrator in the 38 special, but the Extreme Defender does very well in the 38 special. Also, I hate to say their name, Fort Scott Munitions. They make a very interesting 38 special. I have some of it. So it's one of those two. I like a solid copper bullet in a 38 special. What was that? Jonathan Johnson, lucky number 13. Oh, that's why the name sounded familiar, because you do super chats sometime. I remember thinking the name sounded familiar last week once I found the name. You should be grateful to G-Webs because you almost weren't chosen. If he had just went with Matt, you'd have been screwed. Email sent for the sweet CZ. Okay, good. I'm going to go in probably Tuesday. Maybe not Tuesday, maybe not till Wednesday, but I'll probably go in Tuesday this week because hopefully we'll be able to pick up my gun because I got delayed. I'll pick up what I bought. Got delayed again this week because it makes Fort Scott's jerks. Don't say Fort Scott's good people. They're fucking jerks. Called me and lectured me. I was like, fuck you, you motherfucker. Because I said, I've been dealing with Fort Scott for a long time. I've been promoting their products, and I asked them to help with the was it the pistol project? Asked them to help with. Oh no, my dealer wanted to ask them to help with the pistol project, and I was like, okay, cool. And we sent them multiple requests. They didn't respond, and then I finally just said, well, fuck them. If they don't even want to respond to stuff, just fuck them. And then they sent me. They said, oh, we want to talk to him because we didn't mean to blow him off and blah blah blah. And we'd like to talk to him. Can we get his phone number from my dealer? And my dealer said, yes, sure, I'll give you his phone number, because he asked me first. And then he gave them my phone number, and they called me. And the very first thing the motherfucker did was start lecturing me I don't appreciate the way you talked about our company, and we're professionals here, and we don't like when you do shit like. I was like, I don't like people who fucking blow people off and then act like it's their fault. So fuck you up your ass. What I actually said to him was, "Oh, okay, I'm glad you didn't appreciate it. Bye." And then he called my dealer back and said, "I don't think our conversation went very well." And I was like, "No, it didn't go very well." So fuck Fort Scott. Up the pooper. And, I don't know where some of the people are getting that, YouTube is censoring bad words, and they never censor my bad words. They don't censor the people in my chat that say bad things. So I don't know where they're getting censored on their chats. I haven't seen it once, and my chats get pretty raucous, and so do raucous. Well, I can't even talk today, and so do my statements. Sometimes aren't very civil. So I don't understand why they're. Do you drink any water or just soda and seltzer? Well, this is water. It's flavored, but it's very lightly flavored. It's 0 calories and it's very lightly flavored. I mean, it's not something that tastes like Kool-Aid or anything. I mean, it just tastes like water with an aftertaste of cherry. Which my son can't drink the cherry when he says, it tastes like cough medicine. And I'm like, I've never taken cough medicine. I've never been able to take it. Cough medicine makes me puke if I try to take it. So. I said pooper. Yes, I do say pooper sometimes. I always tell my sons, I'm going to put my foot in your pooper if you don't do what I told you to do. Jonathan Redfern is asking, hey, Yankee, you should definitely get an all-steel EAA Witness 10mm. That's not a question. Your home defense shotgun should definitely be the Beretta 1301 Tactical or TX4 Storm. TX4. You already love your PX4. Oh, I've never seen the TX4. The PX4, I'd like to have the CX4, but I've never actually even shot a TX4. Also, are you familiar with I never have been able to pronounce this name right. I don't know if it's Manchurin, how you pronounce it, Manurin. MR73 revolver. It's a French 357 Magnum. Extremely well made, lasts forever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I am familiar with those. I've always wanted one of those, but last I checked, you could hardly ever find one. And when you did find one, they were like $5,000. So, yeah. I can't spend $5,000 on a revolver because I just not wealthy. So I can't do that. That's one of those things I'd be like, I could buy 10 other decent pistols for what I paid for this thing because they're like $6,000 by the time you pay everything. Ray F, do you still have the Browning High Power? Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do because I said it was my second favorite gun the other day, second favorite semi-automatic gun the other day. I would like to know if the stock trigger that comes with it is as bad as some people say for concealed carry. It's not bad. It's just not what a lot of people want in a single action gun. A lot of people who shoot single action guns, they want that breaking glass, super light, breathe on it, it goes off, single action trigger like they find on a lot of 1911s. And the allergies. That's just not the way the trigger is on the Browning High Power. It's more of a combat trigger. It was designed to be a combat trigger. The triggers people are used to now on 1911s are triggers that have evolved over time to be more suited to the people who like to use them as competition guns and self-defense guns, etc. So I'm trying to remember what I'm trying to say here. The Browning High Power is not like that. Like I say, it's a combat trigger. Now, it can be made better, putting a good spring in it, like BHS Spring Solutions or BHP Spring Solutions, something like it. Browning High Power Spring Solutions, something like it. BHS or BHP, I forget. They make a nice spring kit for it that's not expensive. That makes a lot of difference. Taking out the mag disconnect makes a lot of difference, although I never tell you to do that because you're taking out a safety feature, but it's a safety feature that only prevents you from shooting yourself in the foot or something when you're cleaning your gun or in your face or something. But it can be made better. It's never going to be, because of the way it's designed and the way it's set up, it's never going to be that like 2.25 pound trigger that you get like on a 1911. It's always going to be a 5 pound or above trigger if you want to keep it safe and working well, but it can still be a really good trigger. I mean, that's still a very, very nice trigger. I wouldn't complain about that. Sometimes, like when you get them out of the box, though, sometimes they're like in that 11, 12 pound range, and you got to do a little work to them. But a little bit of effort and you can have a good trigger on it. And even the ones out of the box that are heavier are still not bad for self-defense. You're still going to be able to work it fine. If you can shoot it at the range with that trigger, you could definitely be able to shoot it in self-defense with that trigger. So, whatever. I think I just made my point. Allergies. Let's see here. Did I miss one? Make sure I didn't miss one before I answer that one. Jason Brannon, which was my mother-in-law's maiden name. Not Jason, Brannon. Hi, Yank. Will you tell Amy that Jason loves her? We got in a fight. We would sometimes watch your chat together, make up some good things about me. Okay. What can I make up good about you? I heard he's kind to animals. I heard that he hardly ever beats old people. Hardly ever. I've hardly ever seen him punch an old lady. He's the kind of guy that if he did rape you, he would leave cab fare on the dresser. So nice guy, all around guy. He really, he's a testament to being able to do as much as you possibly can do to please a woman with a 2-inch penis. So, I mean, you got to go back. What else could you hope for? Hope that served what you wanted it to serve. 3/4 footer says, try cucumber water. You just slice a cucumber and shove it in a gallon of water. It's healthy as can be. Add lemon juice if you like. I've never really been a fan of cucumber water, which is also funny because I love cucumbers to eat them, not putting them in a freezer like a pervert. I'll sit and eat a whole cucumber. I just like cucumbers like apples, or I'll slice them. If I eat them like an apple, which I shouldn't do this. I'll peel them. If I'm going to slice them, I don't even peel them. I just eat them, peel and all if I'm going to slice them. Oops. Well, they also said that he does, that Jason does reach arounds. So that wasn't my experience with Jason, but other people are testifying to that. Yankee, did you ever decide if you're going to get a Smith 1911? I remember you liked the engraved one. I really do like the engraved one. If I ever buy another regular 1911, it probably will be that Smith & Wesson. I wish they would make an engraved 10 millimeter Smith & Wesson 1911. Wouldn't that be awesome? I think the answer to that is yes, that would. What did I fucking do? I just hit my mouse with my bottle and all my windows just shot away. Where'd they go? Okay, there they are. They're back. Let's see here. Netflutter, what the F is deep concealment? Deep concealment is like different than regular carry, which I always just consider like inconspicuous carry, I guess, just trying not to show it. Whereas deep concealment is something really small that you can place in a place you couldn't put a regular size gun. It's not like shoving it up your ass or anything. It's just a smaller gun in a place that is really hard to find or notice. And maybe not as easy to get to also as a regular gun on your hip because of it's being placed somewhere else. He likes to spank puppies. I don't spank puppies, but puppy butts are the cutest thing in the world. You ever see like a little fat puppy butt when they're wandering away, running away from you? Little fat puppy butts are just amazing. Pinch Me Vampire says, if I magically erased your knowledge of Glocks and XDs, gave you one of each, would you still think the Glock is better? Plastic sights, no grip safety, non-ambi mag release, no front serrations. If I held them both in my hand and shot them, I would probably still like the Glock better. If I didn't shoot them, I might like the XD better. Because, I'm not the biggest Glock fan in the world either. But if I ever shot them both, even if I had no knowledge of which one was which, I would still like the Glock better. What gun will you carry for every second matters tomorrow? I've thought about that. I haven't come to a conclusion yet today, but I've been thinking about it. I was thinking of carrying my Browning High Power because I like my Browning High Power. I thought, well, why don't I just carry it tomorrow? It'd be pretty. That was from Firefighter 09100 who donated to the Puppy Fund. Yeah, deep concealment is just carrying in a different way other than standard concealment, usually a smaller gun tucked away a little further. It's not... how many acres of land do you own, Yankee? It's only about 6 acres. It's not huge. Although 6 acres feels huge after being in the city. I do want to buy some more land, though. It doesn't have to necessarily be right near me. I just want to buy like a plot of land somewhere, just like another little 10-acre plot or something. What is your thought on the PSU shooting? Was there a PSU shooting? I mean, look that up. Oh, shit. I've never... Yo, I'm on the right one, aren't I? I was thinking I never switched over. I guess I never switched back from the last chat. So let me see if I can find something on the PSU shooting. Or are you talking from a long time ago? Are you talking about the one that was... Witness to deadly PSU officer involved shooting. Oh, it's an officer involved shooting. I didn't really... Man whose gun fell out of holster, shot dead by Portland police. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I just haven't heard this. I've been out of the loop for a little while. A man involved in a fight was shot and killed by Portland State University police after a gun reportedly fell out of his holster. A man involved in a fight was shot and killed by Portland police officers, blah, blah, blah. PSU identifies the officers involved in the shooting as Sean McKenzie and James Dewey. Both have been sworn officers since 2016. Ooh, way since then. They're probably both like 23. And both have been placed on administrative leave. Portland Police Bureau's officers were dispatched around 1:30 to officer-involved shooting and blah, blah, blah. There's been a disturbance near Southwest College Street and Broadway. There was a large group of people milling around the street. Several people who had just come out of the nearby Cheerful Tortoise bar moments after the shooting described the scene as chaotic. The guy who got shot was trying to de-escalate the situation the whole time, says witness. He was feeling pressed by a bunch of people. He told them, I have a gun. I'm a licensed carrier. Portland police homicide detectives lead the investigation. If he wasn't doing anything threatening and his holster just fell out of his... a gun fell out of his holster while he was in an altercation that apparently, according to witnesses, he was trying to de-escalate, then those two guys are murderers, those police officers. I'm sorry, they're fucking murderers. You don't get to murder someone because you have an incorrect opinion of what's going on. That always bothers me. The police are like, oh, they came up and shot and killed an innocent man, but, you know, they thought something. I don't care what they fucking thought. You know, their whole job is to be able to read a scene correctly. If they can't read a scene correctly, then they don't need to be fucking police officers. They made a bad decision in becoming a police officer, and now they should be tried for murder. They shouldn't be given a pass just because, oh, they're police officers. Fuck that bullshit. That was my opinion on that. It wasn't positive. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. That was the last one. So let me move over here to the emails. What are your thoughts on recommendations for us small gun channels coming up? Well, it's hard right now to really have a full-time gun channel, because to do a really good gun channel, you have to do a lot of work. Even just my shitty little channel takes a lot of work. I guarantee you I'm working on stuff for the channel at least 4 to 6 hours a day, 7 days a week. So not a day off. It's like a full-time job. Sometimes more. There are days when I'm in here in this little studio 12 hours a day trying to figure out something or doing research on something, because I don't like to be blind when I go into an opinion video or anything. I like to read every single aspect of every single bit of information I can find on it before I actually talk about it. So a lot of research goes in, even on just simple videos like opinion videos. Excuse me. But my biggest advice is just make the videos you want to watch. Don't try to make videos you think other people want to watch, because too many people do that. That's why a lot of people don't want to, say anything off-putting, or, because they don't want to say anything political or anything, because they I'll piss off my subscribers. Well, if you piss off your subscribers, you piss off your subscribers. So what if they're so small-minded they can't disagree with you on some things? Then fuck them. I want to read more into this PSU shooting thing. Hey, Yankee, you have mentioned that 10 millimeter 1911s are your preferred platform for the caliber, but what do you think about the 10 millimeter CZ clones? Well, that would be like the DAAs and stuff, wouldn't it? I wish that CZ would make a 10 millimeter version of the Shadow. Well, yeah, I wish they would make a 10 millimeter version of the Shadow too. I'd like to have that. But I mean, that's not my preferred platform. It's just the best platform, I think, for them. I mean, I got SIGs I like too that are 10 millimeter, and it's just because the best guns they make in 10 millimeter just happen to be 1911s, you know. And if I was ever going to carry a 1911, I would definitely want it to be powerful, and I want it to be a 10 millimeter. But you know, if there was better 10 millimeter guns out there, I would choose them probably over a 1911. Just not a lot of options for 10 millimeter. Some say Glocks are $200 overpriced. Thoughts? They are. If you read the life story of, or the biography of Gaston Glock, he wanted to sell them for half the price because he said that's a good, healthy profit margin at half the price. But people told him, you know, his business advisor told him, you know, if you sell something too cheap, people think it's garbage and they won't buy it. So they priced it up. They gave a bunch away to the people they thought would be seen with them, like movies, police officers, militaries. And then once people started seeing them and wanting them, you know, they started really racking up the money to the civilian market. So it was good marketing. But, you know, you don't always get what you pay for. Sometimes you pay for a name. Let's see here. Do you think that Glocks are more reliable than Berettas? No. I've had as many failures with Glocks as I've had with any other gun I've ever had. And it's always almost the exact same thing that causes failures in other guns: ammo and magazines. The Glock 10 millimeter magazines for a long time were just the worst. Never had so many trouble with 10 millimeter magazines as I ever had with Glock 10 millimeter mags. When I had my 29 and my 20, just horrible. Took my 950 Jetfire to the range today. Trigger would not reset reliably. Any thoughts on what would cause this? What you mean by saying reliably? You mean it doesn't reset all the time? The trigger doesn't reset all the time. Well, what I'm betting is that it's short stroking when you're firing the gun. So it's probably ammo related. That would be my most likely guess, that the slide isn't cycling fully when you fire the gun, which would reset the trigger and make the gun able to fire again. So is the hammer staying back? So, but that'd be my first guess. Someone else in here probably have some other things that you could look at. Craig Hughes. Hey, Yankee, what is your advice for someone new to carrying, open or concealed? Concealed. I am confident about guns, but being out in public is a different thing. As you say, people are stupid. How do you get over the worry over heightened awareness? Also, did you look at that carry insurance company I sent you? No, I haven't had a chance to look at anything. I've been really busy. We're just now getting the gym done out here. I don't know if y'all see. You're not going to see very well anyway because this camera is so sucky. But if you look out there right now, you can start to see gym equipment out there outside the door there, because we're getting the gym finished up finally. Oops, shit. That was a rocky ride for you guys right there. But yeah, I always recommend you carry concealed. For one, yeah, trigger happy cops just fucking shooting people simply because there's a gun present. And two, I just don't want people knowing what I'm carrying or where I'm carrying it or how I'm carrying it if I don't have to let them know. I mean, if I ever have to use it, I want it to be a surprise to the person. Of course, then there's also the argument that it can be a deterrent. But, you know, I'm never really worried about being the direct target of somebody because I'm just not a guy who's always the easy target. You know, I'm over 6 feet tall and I'm 200 plus pounds, and I'm not the guy people go, there's an easy target. So I don't usually worry about, have to have a deterrent. If I'm ever in a situation where there's like a confrontation and if something happens, I have to intervene. I want it to be a surprise, whatever I have with me, to the bad guy. If anyone who is a TYMP Pistol Project committee member is watching this cast and has not voted yet, please do so now. We have a 3-way tie. Uh-oh. So if you haven't voted and you're a council member and you've not voted, do it now, because there's a 3-way tie. And giving away 3 guns this week ain't happening. I got to spend so much this week anyway, because I got to go in Tuesday and buy the friend gun and the gun for the TYMP Pistol Project. So that's almost $1,000 out of my pocket to come Monday. And that was from Kenzo Lombardo. Warbucks, do you have an AR 9mm? What do you have on it, and can you show it? I don't think I have an AR. I have like the SIG MCX or whatever it's called. Hold on. Where is that? Is that in here? No. Must be over here. Hold on, I'll be right back. Ow! Thought I had a 9mm one. Maybe I don't have a 9mm one. Well, that goes what I shows me what I think for thinking. Oh, I do have one. I don't have an AR. I've got an Evo. It's an SPR though. Nope, I don't have an AR. I just got an Evo. Nothing AR style. I have to keep. Why do I keep thinking I have a 9mm version of the? Wait, what caliber is that thing? Hold on. Yeah, I do. I thought I did. I thought I did. This is the closest thing to an AR in 9mm I have. Yeah. The MPX from SIG. That's the closest thing to a 9mm. This cost me a bunch because I had to pay the $200 for a tax stamp, which reminds me, I got to get that tax stamp out of my glove box. I just got 2 more tax stamps in the mail the other day. They came to my dealer, and I went and picked them up, and I didn't put them in my safe yet. They're out in my glove box. But this is the closest thing I have to a 9mm AR, and I got next to nothing on it. Got flip-up sights, just the way it comes. So it's just this right here. Oh, my elbow is extremely damaged, so it's hard for me to sit stuff down like that. Tore my elbow up this weekend real bad. But that's like the closest thing I have to an AR in 9mm. The curtain is hiding the people tied up in the back. No, it's just blocking sound, a little bit of the echo, so it doesn't sound like I'm talking in a metal can. Still has a little echo over there, but it's getting better. So that's the new giveaway for your friends? No. Can't transfer it to you anyway. It's got a tax stamp. What's on the floor? Right there. Oh, that's pieces to my safe where I'm redoing the safe over there, because I took the ammo out of that little safe there and put it in an ammo can. So now I'm putting some stuff over into that safe, some long guns and stuff. So that's what that is. This part of watching is his butt. Where's the voice coming from? It's coming from over there. It's over there at the safes. Got a recommendation for a gun safe for a small house or apartment? Yes, a small safe would fit well in a small house or apartment. There's safes all over the place. Just get it depends on what you're wanting to do too. Are you wanting a safe that's going to, like, if someone breaks in, I don't want to be able to get my gun, period. Well, in that case, I suggest something hidden, something that goes in a place where no one's going to think to look, and just something like that, like mounting it somewhere that's going to be like those tactical walls kind of things. you know, to where people aren't even going to think to look for a gun. If you're just wanting something that's like, I don't want my kids getting a hold of it, just get you one of those little metal lock boxes like you keep money in, bolt it to the floor in your closet to keep your gun in it. That's what my sister does. Ultra naturalist. I'm actually a blonde and a redhead and a brunette all at the same time. Look, I hid my ugly fourth yard face. I don't know if it was the face that was the worst part, but it's a good step. Yeah, let's see here. I dismissed a question, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't. That was that. I'm a blonde and a redhead. What happened to the binary trigger AR you had? I have no clue what you're talking about. No clue. Oh, excuse me. Never heard of binary trigger. I don't even know what those would. I wouldn't even know what one of those was if I never heard of such a thing. Whew. Well, nose is itching. BJ Weed is saying, hello, David. It's BJ. Well, yeah, we got that from a longtime viewer. I'm one of your judges on the TYMP pistol project. I was just curious if you can remember how long the project has been going on and exactly how many guns you've given away. No. It kind of blurs for me after reading several hundred stories. Thank you for the opportunity to help out. No, I don't know how long it's been going on or how many guns we've given away. I try not to think about it because that's money going away every time I do that. That's why I can't have nice things. That because I don't ever go out and really buy nice things. Now I'm going to get the sniffles because my allergies are starting to kick up. Thoughts on using real name for YouTube channel? Well, I got no problem with it. I mean, James Yeager's real name is James Yeager. What problem did it cause him? Well, other than the problems being James Yeager caused him, but just using his real name didn't hurt him any. I'm pretty sure Mr. Guns and Gear's name is Guns and Gear. I think N's his middle initial. It stands for Norman, I think. I think his name is Guns Norman Gear. Pretty sure. That was from Josh Benware anyway. Justin Wilson, have you added a Wilson Centurion to your collection yet? If so, thoughts compared to the Brigadier? I have not added. Well, no, wait, I did add the Wilson Centurion. Yeah, I did. I got that, I think. Let me see. Yeah, I've got the Wilson Centurion. Hold on. Ow. No, wait, that's my compact. Hold on. I know it's here somewhere. Is this it? Yeah, there's my Wilson Centurion. I know it's blurry, but you can see it. The little orange dot on the front's dead giveaway. But, yep, there it is. I got one of those right away. Let's see here. What else was the question? If so, thoughts compared to the Brigadier? Sorry about your homie. I like the Brigadier better, to be honest. I just like the slides on the Brigadiers better. For one, I like that little bit beefier slide. I like the shorter barrel on this, and I like the sights, but it's not that much. What's like what? That much of a difference? Let's see. See there. So there's the barrel length difference. Does that really make much of a difference to most of you? It don't to me. I do like the sights better on this one, but overall, I just like this gun better. I just like having that little extra length, and I like having that beefier slide. So I like them a little longer and a little beefier. Now, if I had described the Brigadier as veiny, we would have had a real problem there. People would have gotten really confused about what you're talking about. Let's see here. Gun fits my hand better. Yep. Well, they both fit my hand basically the same, very similar. They just got a little bit longer barrel. 4th yard, where you at? 4th yard lion for 1, and 2, it's probably, if it is, it's like 9 long and like 1 inch around. Yeah, it's like being poked with a knitting needle. John Mandrick. Hello, Yankee. Pros and cons. Striker versus hammer fired. Double action versus double action only and single action only. Or would that be a better video? Well, I have videos on all those subjects. Dick Tracy donated $20 but didn't say anything. Well, the pros and cons of striker fired to hammer fired is pro. Hammer fired is much better in almost every category. Con, I don't know. But I just think hammer fired is better in almost every way. And double action, single action, I think is almost better in every single way too, because you have like the best of both worlds. You can either just yank your gun and start pulling the trigger, or you can cock that trigger back and have a really nice light single action if you need to make a long distance shot. Dick Tickle said Colin Noir's real name is, I'm not saying that again because people got mad at me last time. Although I think Uncle Tom is a literary reference, not a racial reference. Because you actually have to be doing a certain action to be called that. You have to be a sellout. Also, what was I thinking? What was I saying here? Oh, yeah. I think double action, single action is just better than either one of those other two. Single action gives you that light trigger all the time, but it also means you've got a really light trigger if you ever are in an iffy situation that could be easily lead to issues. If you put your finger on the trigger when you're not supposed to. And I know everyone always says, just don't put your finger on the trigger. I have seen professionals put their finger on the trigger under stress at the wrong time many, many times. So do not ever think you are too good to have that happen to you. Always take it into consideration when you're planning things out. That one of the most important things about being prepared is always training to do things right, but realizing that sometimes anyone can do something wrong, and then you're a little better prepared. But as far as striker versus hammer, I just don't think of any advantages striker fireds have. The triggers are worse. It's a little bit more complicated. I just don't think, other than just not having a hammer that can't, if it's in a pocket or something, you don't have to worry about a hammer getting stuck, or a lot of people, the hammer's going to catch on something on a draw. But yeah, other than that, I just don't think of any pluses to it. Oh shit, here, I got to read these real quick. CZ versus SIG versus Beretta. Beretta and then SIG and CC are on about the same level. Beretta's my favorite. I'm not saying that's a better gun than either of those, because, the Beretta and the SIG have a lot of things in common, double action, single action with a decocker. But I just like the styling of the Beretta, and the feel of the Beretta is better. The CZs are awesome guns. I wish more of them were double action, single action with a decocker. Like my CZ, regular CZ doesn't have a decocker. Juan Gutierrez. Juan Gutierrez. Love your work. Keep it up. Just became a Patreon supporter. I don't understand why people are dropping from it when you are using the money selflessly. There's been a concentrated effort against me in some groups, but I don't let that bother me. It's not a conspiracy or a secret. They're very openly hostile towards me. I don't think anyone should support me. The NRA hates me. They absolutely hate me. So yeah, I got some people working against me, but some people are just, I guess, touchy about what you do with the money. They'd rather, I guess, buy heroin with it or something. That's what I'll just start doing. I'll just start telling people I'm buying heroin, and then maybe it'll go up, because it went down again this month. It's been going down for the last 3 months that I've been doing the project. So yeah, I'm not reading this last one from 4th Yard. Not reading that. Not reading it. And he brought his ugly picture back on. Let's see here. I'm asking fourth yard if he has tan lines. Let's see here. Let me message retracted. He redacted the message now because I wasn't going to read it. Oh, okay, that was the pistol project info coming in there. Let me go over here and get back to the email questions. We've just been sitting here kind of lazing off here for a few minutes. Getting lazy. We usually run like an hour and a half, 2 hours on Sunday. It'll probably be an hour and a half today because I got to go eat again. I'm going to go meet friends again for dinner. Not trying to get to a movie this time, though. That was so fucking hectic last time. Had to leave here at 5:30, get to the restaurant about 6:30, try to get to a movie that started at 7:30. It was really a hassle. It was really a hassle. Let's see here. Let me get back over to question. Warbucks, hey Yankee, have you seen or shot the new Ruger PC carbine? What are your thoughts? I think that it would be an awesome package if they made it shorter like the Ruger Charger, but in 9mm. That'd be an SBR. So, what are your thoughts on a pistol version? Oh, you mean like make it actually a pistol? Well, why would you need that other than just? I'm not sure why it need to take down if it was a pistol, but well, whatever. But yeah, I own one. I like it. What are you saying now? The money still goes through. I redacted out of respect. I wasn't worried about it either way, but I still ain't reading it. Thomas Guerrera questions: if the zombie apocalypse was going to happen, do you think you could make your house defensible, or would you go, or where would you go that was defensible? Well, one good thing about this place is it has a second story apartment that would be easily to seal off so nothing could get up into it. It would be defensible. It's even got a little balcony to walk out onto and take out zombies and whatever. But to be honest, in the zombie apocalypse, it's people I'm more worried about. If I was going to try to be defensible, if I was really worried about it, I would try to put an underground bunker. And the first thing I'd do is if the zombie apocalypse happened, is burn my house to the ground and move to the bunker. Because then people would be like, that place has already been looted and burnt to the ground. No point in going up there. Pinch me vampire. What kind of fucked up psycho hates pineapple on pizza? Normal people hate pineapple on pizza. It's gross. It is gross. I respect your choice to be an atheist and liberal, but you're going too far. Nah, I'm not. I will take a definite stand on pineapple on pizza. It should be illegal. I think it should be illegal. I'm going to go that far to say that kind of grossness should be illegal. I sent you an email with the impact of the project. Okay, let's see. Okay, here it is. Let's see. The project commenced on March 18th, according to what I have. Okay. We have given away 13 to 15 firearms with 15 people being selected. Today we'll make the 16th selection. Boy, that's a lot of guns to give away. I know why one of them didn't go out because the person's never contacted us. Why is the second one not gone out? Was that the is that the one where I ended up having to buy a shotgun? Is that one? Hawaiian pizza is the best. Only if you're a psychopath. That was from Jim White, who doesn't know anything about pizza. And no, I don't like that thick, goopy pizza. I mean, I like an occasional pan pizza, but I don't really consider that big, thick, goopy stuff pizza like they like in like Boston or wherever it is. I'm a little choking here. Have you had any time with a CZ82? Just ordered one today. Not a whole lot of time. I haven't had a whole lot of time to spend with it because I just any of them because I don't know anybody that owns one. For one, I mean, I've had my hands on them before at range and stuff, but never spent any real time with them. I do like the fact that didn't Morgan use a CZ82 to make his first kill after he had sworn off killing? Wasn't that a CZ82 he used? Let me try to see if I can find that out. Morgan TWD. Let me see if anything comes up. Yeah, it was a CZ82 that Morgan used on The Walking Dead. Remember when Carol was getting attacked by the what do they call him? Savior, and Morgan had sworn off killing for a long time, but then he just blew that Savior away with his little CZ82. Made me kind of want one. Dick Tracy donated again, but did not ask a question. Why does he keep donating but not asking questions? Best pizza is free pizza. Oh, I was getting to say, yeah, I like a thick pan pizza every now and then. But I like it when it's a lot of dough, not a lot of toppings. There's a place over here in Portland called Flying Pie Pizza, and they make a pizza with, regular dough, and there's like meat topped this thick on it. And I'm just like, if I wanted to eat just a big fucking slab of meat, I'd just eat meat on a cracker. I like the dough is a good flavor. I like good flavored dough for pizza. Hand tossed. I like hand tossed. But I'm not a big fan of that big soupy pizza that you get up east in the east sometimes. I like pizza to be like regular pizza or pizza, as my granny used to call it. Pizza pie. Who wants to order a pizza pie? Flying pie is good. Blech. Blech. I don't like flying pie pizza. Blech. The two best pizzas I've ever eaten in my life is Village Pizza in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And I've eaten pizza all over the fucking country and even in the world. Monty's in Huntington, West Virginia, and Village Pizza in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. The two best pizzas I've ever eaten are in West Virginia, which was weird. Now up here, who do I like up here? I like New York Pizzeria that's down the street. It's kind of a greasy, spicy pizza, so I like it. The crust on Papa Murphy's is the best. Papa Murphy's okay. I like Papa John's crust. I think it's got a real sweet flavor to it. I like that real sweet crust. But I don't like Papa John. I think he's a dick. I think he's a dick. And not even a good dick. Do you think Smith & Wesson still avoids 10 millimeter because it's an opponent to their brainchild, the 40, or is there another reason they haven't hopped into the 10 millimeter market? I just think it's that they don't want to develop a gun for a round that they think might be a flash in the pan again. Whereas I don't agree, because I think 10 millimeter is an excellent round. And it only went away because of bad propaganda. Like, the FBI people can't handle it. It's just not good for handguns. No, the FBI people are a bunch of pencil pushing geeks and women trying to shoot a decent caliber who aren't gun people. But for people that know how to use their gun, 10 millimeters, awesome round for semi-automatics. In fact, it's like my favorite round for a semi-automatic. 357 SIG and 10 millimeter, depending on what I need it for. So, they've made 10 millimeters in the past, but they just don't have a big following. If Smith did get into the 10 millimeter market, would you like to see the 610 make another comeback? No, I'd like to see something a little revamped, a little better. Joey's Pizza in Eugene is the best real pizzeria pizza around. Papa's is good. Flying Pie, thin crust Yankee, thin crust, not regular. I don't like Flying Pie pizza. Too much fucking meat on it. I can just go to the one over here on Clinton. Or not Clinton. What is it over there that it's on? Too many messages today. I don't know what's going on. Adam Jimmy Knees is asking a question here. That was from Fourth Yard, by the way. Let's talk about Joey's Pizza in Eugene. I've ever been to Eugene. Has there been any positive feedback from opposition do you have regarding the pistol project? What? Has there been a positive feedback from opposition to you have? That's not a sentence, Adam Jimmy Knees. Has there been an positive feedback from opposition you have regarding the pistol project? That is a puzzle that I am not able to figure out right now. Flag us, Yankee. Don't forget the desk pop. I'm not going to desk pop. I'll flag you if you want me to. Here, hold on. My elbow is so fucked up I can barely draw my gun. I should probably start carrying on my other side right now. There you go. You've been flagged. Let's do it again on the way back. There we go. Here, I'll do it up close so you can see that you can see the rounds in the bullet. See the solid copper rounds. Solid copper core bones. Oh, let's go back down here. Ow. My elbow is really messed up. I think I tore something in it. Is Nazi coming back to your podcast? Who's Nazi? Like Haas Nazi? He's never really been on my podcast so that I know of, but I think he's still over on Gun Channels. He's on their chat sometimes. The best pizza on the coast is Bedrock's in Winchester Bay. Never been there either. I don't really eat pizza a lot when I'm out. I don't eat pizza a lot, period. I'm not like one of these people who eats pizza every week or anything, but I like it every now and then. Used to eat it a lot more in college, but I don't eat it a lot now. When you're in the military, you eat a lot. Because to be honest, being in the military is a lot like being in like a college fraternity and living in the dorms because you eat a lot of pizza and stuff like that. It's very much that type of lifestyle that let's go out and get laid and order pizza. Not in that order, but, you know, that kind of stuff. Did I miss the two? Okay, there we go. Adam is asking, not Adam Jimmy Knees. This is just Adam. Gummies. I used to, when I was over in Germany, I used to go buy these big buckets of gummy bears. They would come in a bucket. And I would sit and eat that whole thing over a weekend. Like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, eat that whole fucking, it was like I would say like a 2-gallon bucket, like 5 pounds or something. It was, like this big. And I'd eat the whole thing over the weekend. Shouldn't the silver round be the first to go in case of werewolves? I don't know if you can see. Let's see. It's actually right over here. So when I pull the trigger and the round cycles, it is going to be the first one to shoot. Because you can't put it, some people will put it under the hammer thinking, we'll use it first. No, you got to, when you pull the trigger, the cylinder is going to rotate. So it can't be under the hammer. I don't like veggies. Terrible. I love veggies. I like raw. I don't like them cooked. Someone is roaming around out in the, that's my son. He's supposed to be sweeping out there, sweeping the gym floor. Because we just got everything put in place and he's supposed to be sweeping. I told him to do it till he thinks he's done and then come get me and then I can come tell him why he's not done. And usually it's because you did a shitty job doing it yet. I just gave him a big speech today. I put on my dad hat and did the big speech of, I am fucking sick and tired of ignorance or incompetence being used as excuses to not do a good job. You all are neither ignorant nor incompetent. You're just fucking lazy. So I will not accept that anymore. So there's been some changes around here. I don't know how to do that. Well, then you better fucking learn. They're at that age where I shouldn't be coddling them. They're past that age, but still. Miss Misako needs to join one of your live events. Great dude. I don't know who that is. That was from Chuck Miller, but I don't know who Misako or whatever. I don't even know how to pronounce it, much less who it is. Fourth yard, my brother finished the 96-ounce steak dinner challenge at Sailor's Steakhouse twice in 1 week. I always get the 22-ounce New York. I go to Sailor's every now and then, but the crowd there is literally the average age, I would say, is 82. It's a place where I go to feel young. I'm the whippersnapper in this crowd, but I like the food. I even like that little dip they bring with the veggies and stuff at first, which is just mayonnaise with liquid smoke in it. But yeah, I like Sailor's. Sailor's, you can go get a decent steak for a decent price. It's one of these places where it's not like we went to Ruth Chris one time and it's like, okay, your steak's $50, and then if you want a baked potato, that's another $12. I'm like, fuck that shit. I'll just go Outback and get me a steak. Tastes the same to me. I put ketchup on it anyway. Ruger Vaquero versus Uberti. Well, that's an interesting little question there, really, because here's the thing. And I don't like New York steak too much. I like ribeye. I always get the biggest ribeye they have. I like, to me, a perfect bite of steak. Let's say if it's a perfect proportions for a bite of steak, it should be 2/3 meat, 1/3 fat. That's my perfect proportion for a bite of steak. But as far as the Ruger Vaquero versus the like Ubertis, the Ubertis are truer to form reproductions of old Colt single action armies. or Old West revolvers. If you want something that's far truer to form to an old style revolver, definitely go Uberti. Like that's why Uberti is very popular with single action shooting society, etc. Now I did use Rugers at one point. I also had Hartfords from EMF, but it's an Uberti. Uberti makes them. The Rugers are beefier. They're a little more beefed up. They're a little more made for modern loads. They're a little, a little more Rugery. They're a little more polished too, I think. So I like the Ruger Vaqueros. I have a pair of them. So it just depends on whether you want more realistic or a little bit of a modern update on something. I think Tina is Liberty Cat is hot. Oh, Tina is Liberty Cat. How do you know you can't see her? She could be a dude for all you know. Never tried juicing. What is she? Bothers has. That could be a dude. Yeah, be careful. Or just identify as a woman. I don't know. There's only one way to know for sure, and then we can't do that during the chat. So she's married. Well, that doesn't mean that she's not a dude. She can still be married and be a dude. It's kind of like the old saying goes that in internet dating and online chat rooms, all hot young guys are actually 60-year-old ugly fat men, and all hot young girls are actually 60-year-old old fat men. So there you go. No one's saying anything's wrong with being trans. I'm just saying she could be a dude. And I don't think he's into dude. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he knows she's a dude and that's why he's into it. Sorry, I'm female. That's what they all say. That's what they all say. Then you grab him by the titty to make sure, and then you're the bad guy. Which reminds me, we were on a cruise one time, and my youngest son had just gotten into titty twisters. I guess he was 6, and we're sitting here, and we're sitting with this other group of people, and he thought titty twisters were just something you do to people. So he was sitting next to this other lady, and he goes, "Titty twister," and gives her a titty twister. Now, if that had been coming from anyone other than a 5 or 6-year-old, she probably would have been upset, but she was okay with it. Why does he says, "We love you, Yankee," Fourth Yard said. That's because I'm a dude. Pervert. All right, let's get back to questions. Is that a question on who's a dude and who's not? Like I say, not judging, just wondering. Not judging. I don't really care, to be honest. People always say, "Oh, what do we do about the trannies in the bathroom?" And I always say tranny. People are like, "That's an offensive term." I know a lot of trannies, and they aren't offended by it, so I don't know why it became an offensive term. I used to be friends with Toby Meltzer here in Oregon. He was the #1 sex change doctor in the country, so I've met lots of people with brand new manginas. And none of them were ever offended by the term tranny. It's just short for transsexual. It's not like transvestite or whatever. And I don't care if you're transvestite either. I don't care if you're a man want to wear dresses or a woman and want to wear pants. I don't care. Well, it's always, if you're a man and you wear a dress, you're a transvestite. If you're a woman and you just wear like a pair of jeans, you're not a transvestite. So that's double standard. Tina the Liberty Cat floats my matching yachts. I don't understand what that means. I'm sure that is sexual in some way and probably highly inappropriate. What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about, I don't care if someone's transsexual. It's like they're like, "Oh, we're going to do about transsexual people in the bathroom." I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to go piss and then leave. I'm not going to be asking them a lot of questions or interacting with them. I don't interact with people in bathrooms. So, unless they're like, sitting over in the corner or coming and peeking over the stalls, I'm like, I don't give a fuck what bathroom they use. I'm going in there doing my business and getting the fuck out. And it's always just going to be pissed. I do not like to shit in a public restroom. I've had to occasionally, especially now that I got older, because now that I've gotten older, I have found that I am either currently suffering from or just between bouts of diarrhea. So, it can just be sudden when you're my age, and you got to piss a lot. So, and you're tired, so you might as well just sit down and take care of everything. But it's got to be a really clean bathroom. Like I know a couple places, like Home Depot surprisingly keeps a really clean bathroom around here. So usually I'm going to Home Depot, so that's good and clean. Now the gun shop keeps a really clean bathroom too, but I never would shit in the gun shop because you never will hear the end of that. So I just piss in there. So I'm sure they're happy to hear that. Because I've gone in there before when people shit in the gun shop, not in the gun shop, but in the bathroom at the gun shop. I've never been in there when they shit in the gun shop. That would be an interesting day. But and and people are like, don't go back in there. This guy just stunk it up because they got no problem saying that. So I'm never going to use that bathroom. But I don't care where people go to the bathroom. As long as I like there to be walls on the little urinals, because I don't want to see the guy next to me if he's a guy or a woman or whatever. I would like to have no idea what his sexuality is, his physical sexuality is when I leave. And I'd like him to guess about me too. He could be thinking that was either the ugliest broad I've ever seen in a bathroom or some guy going to the bathroom. Don't really care. Couldn't care less what people do in their own personal lives. And I'm not really worried about what goes on in bathrooms. People are like talking about, well, what if someone rapes my 4-year-old daughter in the bathroom? Why is your 4-year-old daughter in the bathroom by herself in a public place? You're a bad parent. And I don't think most transsexuals are raping anybody. So they're like, oh, then straight guys will just dress up as women and go hang out in bathrooms. I'm like, really? You think they're going to get away with that? I don't think so. If they've been in there for more than 10 minutes, probably we should have reason to have a problem with where they're going to the bathroom. So I'm not really, don't really care about that. Tina Liberty Cat, I'm not a Patreon. I think it would be patron. I'm poor. Yeah, join the club. But hey, Fourth Yard seems to have some money and he's interested. I'm not saying you got to do anything. You just got to just moves up to him. Tell him send you some money. Hello, everyone. Sorry to be late. Wow. We have the right to not accept your apology. I got to go get something to drink, so I'll be right back. It's unprofessional to walk out right in the middle of the chat to go get something, but I got the fridge right back here. It's not like I'm going far. I can actually keep talking to you the whole time I'm going. I might not, so I don't know what I would say. But I just set off the motion detector in the safe. Oh, the air's running back here. I didn't know the air was running. I hope it's not coming across on camera. I think I'm going to get a Mountain Dew, actually. This little fridge out here actually keeps stuff colder than our refrigerator in the house. It's because the freezer is like, oh, is it part of it? No, it's not. It's not part of it. But it keeps it colder than stuff in the house does. Read my email, moving a gun safe, AMB2317. Okay, I will try. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. AMB317. Tom, Jason. I don't see anything from an AMB317. I see Mark Warner here saying, would you do an updated gun collection vid? Seems like you've added a fair amount since your last one. I've also sold a bunch of stuff though too, so it'll probably be the same amount of guns, just different ones. Let me see. I'm trying to find one from. Oh, okay. Here's one, but it's got your name. It doesn't have that. It doesn't have that email address you talked about. Alfonso Botello. Do you recommend moving an 800-pound gun safe by myself with a few friends or hiring someone to move it? It has to go up about 8 steps and getting shoved into a closet. Well, you can definitely move it. That's about the weight of this safe, and we moved it. I mean, I didn't this time because I paid somebody because I'm old. But I moved it with me and 3 teenagers one time. So as long as you are prepared, you got some some 2x4s or some ramps or something to get it up the stairs. It's not that difficult if you've got enough people. So, I mean, that Bigfoot out there is over 1,100 pounds. It's almost 1,200 pounds. We moved it. So sorry about your homie. it can be done. Although we just set that weight machine up, and then I thought, I'd kind of like to move it over 6 inches further away from the wall. Nope. You'd be surprised how much one of those weight things weighs. This some bitch ain't fucking moving. We couldn't budget. 3 of us pushing on it. They could not budget. Turned on June 28th. I don't know what they're saying. Turned on June 28th. Don't know what they're talking about over there. But yeah, for the gun safe thing, you can move it. But if you want to just be careful and safe, just hire a safe moving company. They are a little pricey though. So shop around. Get one that ain't too expensive, but it can be done. And it's not like it's that awkward. I mean, you lock them up, they're just like moving a big cube. So it's not like they're awkward and things flopping all over. Like with this moving this gym machine in here, there's like the butterfly things are smacking you in the head as you're trying to move the piece and take it off. So it's not like they're going to be like that. Tom, 1911 long slide. Hey, Yankee, do you have any long slide 1911s? Any comments? I'm looking at an older AMT 1911 with 7-inch barrel. Now, that'd be cool. I'd like to have one of those older AMTs and stuff. But no, I don't have any long slides. I think long slides are just unneeded. I think they're only there to make you feel inferior. 7-inch barrel. No one needs that. But just no real experience. So, but I do like the old AMTs. Chat question about, what was that? Winchester safes. Hey, Yankee, ever had any problem with Winchester safes? No, I've actually got one right here. Ow. That right there's a Winchester. Never had a moment's problem with it. This one was made in Mexico. I guess some are made in Mexico, some are made in China. This one says it's made in Mexico on the little stamp up there for some reason. But never had a problem with it. It's always worked flawlessly. So there you go. Wait, this is not the one that's really heavy. It's the one over there that's really heavy. I was pointing to the wrong safe earlier. 2 shitty gun measures got shot down in Oregon, 43 and 44. Yay, good. I think they got shot down mainly because they couldn't even get the signatures. They didn't have time to get the signatures, I think. Mexico quality, yep. Mexico, not Mexico. Mexico. I don't know how to say that. My girlfriend was made in Mexico. Part of my son was, I guess. Well, part of his birth father was made in Mexico. Although I question that because his mother didn't really know, but she just knew he was a Mexican guy. I don't think he's Mexican. I think he was Samoan. Because my son definitely has a lot of Samoan traits. So I want to do the DNA tests on him and see how many of them come back with something Samoan. I bought my sawed-off shotgun with my EBT card. I don't think you did. Mexico. That makes more sense. Let's see here. Let me go back over here. But no, I haven't any problem with the Winchester safes. What would you say are the most accurate subcompact carry pistols? You mean like easy to shoot or most inherent accuracy? Well, the most inherent accuracy is going to be something like a revolver or something with a fixed barrel. But easiest to shoot is going to be like a semi-auto, possibly with a fixed barrel. And people always laugh when I say this, but then I take them to the range and show them. Walther PPKs are incredibly fucking accurate. For self-defense ranges, they are amazingly accurate. That fixed barrel makes for a really accurate pistol, inherently accurate. So like a Walther PPK, and I would consider that subcompact, is a super accurate gun. Tell us briefly your story from West Virginia to Washington. Well, we got a car and we drove. Then we stopped at a hotel. Then we got up and we drove some more. Then we stopped at a hotel because we got in the middle of a blizzard in North Platte, Nebraska. And stayed there for like 3 or 4 days because of the blizzard. at North Platte, Nebraska. And then got in the car and came on to Oregon, then moved to Washington. That's pretty much the whole story. But we didn't actually come from West Virginia. Well, we did actually come from West Virginia because we drove up from Alabama first and went to West Virginia, visited family, and then we came to Oregon. When was the last time you got caught in a prostitution sting? I've never been. You mean what? You know, as a customer or as a? Because as a customer, I have never been caught up in a. As a John, I've never been caught up in a prostitution sting. 357 for everyday carry. I think we know the answer to that. Of course, 357. Why would you not carry the best carry around? That was Indentured Servant that asked about the story from West Virginia to Washington. There's no real story about why I came to Washington. It was just a schooling thing. Not for me, but they had good nursing schools up here. So it's like, we're moving to Washington. And I'm like, or Oregon. We're moving to Oregon. I'm like, okay. I didn't like the job I had at the time anyway. I was working for a chain, an art supply chain, Michaels, if you've ever heard of Michaels. I had taken a break from my actual job and just took a job as a class coordinator for the corporate level for Michaels. And it was an easy job. I didn't have to do much of anything, paid pretty good. And then worked on just art projects for gallery showings and stuff. And I was enjoying it, but then I was told, we're moving to Washington, Oregon. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll dust off my psychology degree and go to work for. When I got up here, I actually went to work for Willamette Bridge projects, and then went to work for the city some, and used my degree again. So it was kind of fun at first, but then I quit my job and went and sold cars. And then I flipped houses, and then, well, actually, I think it was something else in between. Oh, I worked part-time at the Warner Bros. Studio store, just get a discount. But it was just a, to do it thing. It wasn't any big story about why we decided to do it. What's your primary home defense gun? The gun I carry every day because it's next to me at night when I go to bed, and it's on me in the daytime, which is my 586 L comp. John or pimp? No, never pimp either. Never been caught as a pimp. I've actually never been a prostitute. I've never even slept with a prostitute. I slept with porn stars, which is next best thing to a prostitute. But I've never been a prostitute. I've been offered to be a prostitute, and I've made some questionable videos, but never actually been a prostitute. I mean, I got nothing against prostitution either. Like I say, with transsexuals, I got no problem with prostitution. I think people should be allowed to be prostitutes. I think prostitution should be legal. And then there are people like, yeah, but they got to be well regulated. No, I don't care. If you want to go to a prostitute, take your chances, roll your dice. Going to a bar on a Saturday and picking up some strange is just as dangerous. So I don't give a fuck. But I would rather it be, well, clean, have a good business, have a good reputation. I don't think you have to regulate that. I think good businesses would want to have a good reputation, so they'd keep their merchandise in good sellable condition. Does your studio have AC? Yeah, it does. Right up there on the wall. It's one of those mini split systems because I got it here in the studio, in the gym, and upstairs. I think it's a 9K, 12K, and an 18K. So yeah, I do have that. Cost me a fucking fortune. I'm just so tired of buying stuff for the house, but it's done now. It's all done. We can enjoy it now. Thoughts on the new MP 2.0 3.6 barrel just came out, I think, last week. I talked about that last week. I think it's a nice gun. I just like to say I don't really care for MPs, so only bisexual. I don't know what he was referring to there, but I mean, it's a good gun. I'm just not a big fan of the MPs. Just not. Other people who are, I'm like, I understand why you are because I know they're good guns. I just don't. They don't tickle my willy. Do you think constitutional carry will ever happen? I know our government wants us disarmed, so will we have to depend on them for protection? It might happen if Trump chooses the right Second Amendment advocate for the court, if he doesn't choose an NRA pick. So that could happen. And that was from Frank Marino. Frank Marino. Why is that name familiar? You're not in relation to Dan Marino, are you? If you are, tell him I used to be a fan. I'm not anymore. Well, I don't even know if he's live anymore, but and I don't follow professional sports anymore. So, net flutter, not flutter like a butterfly. Or I think butterflies should be called flutterbys. My kids get mad at me because I call them flutterbys. I'm like, well, flutterby makes more sense than butterfly. It's not fucking made of butter. They're not even always yellow. So why call them a butterfly? I think they're called flutterbys because they flutter by. I think someone just fucked that up a long way down the line somewhere, and they're actually supposed to be called flutterbys. I noticed that one of the most recent beneficiaries mentioned in their entry that they used to have a gun but had to sell it when things get tough. Is this a concern that you have about the guns you give away? They might turn into an opportunity for quick cash. No, I don't concern myself about it. That's just like saying, well, are you afraid that if you open a food bank, someone's going to come in and get groceries for their kids and they're going to trade for crack? No, I still would rather have the food bank be there for the people who actually will eat the food. So no, I don't worry about things like that. I don't focus on the negative of stuff like that. People that focus on the negative of stuff like that are the people that leave my Patreon and leave nasty messages about it. But I don't focus on the negative. I focus, and like I say, if I gave a firearm to 50 people and 40 people sold it, 10 people kept it, and one person used it to defend their family, I believe I've done a good job. I focus on the positive of that. Show us Maisie. She's so cute. Well, for one, you misspelled Maisie. It's Maisie, Maisie, not Mazy. But she's not out here anymore. She doesn't come out here because she doesn't have access to this building. She's in the house. So she doesn't come into my office anymore. She used to, when I was in the other place, it was right attached to the house, and I had that pet door that she'd come out to my office. That doesn't happen anymore, so I don't have to scream at cats coming in and jumping on my table when I'm filming. So no Comic-Con there, Arthur. They're talking about Comic-Con over in the other. Used to be a drag star in Vegas named Frank Marino. Was there really? I didn't go to Vegas drag shows much. Whenever I'm in Vegas, I'm just like on the strip, and would love to see you back over at Northwest Firearms. Greg Shadowan. Speaking of Northwest Firearms, I go over there every great once in a while, but I've just been so busy and got so much to do with my channel that it's less and less I'm able to do forums. But I was just thinking of Northwest Firearms because of this. Let me see if I can. Remember how I said I would like to have one of those, what was it called? Regent BR9. I said I would like to have a Regent BR9. Where's my Northwest Firearms link? There it is. It's going to take a second for this to come up. But, oh no, it came up pretty well. No, it ain't up. It's just here. Okay. Handguns. People always ask if Dan Marino is my uncle. Well, hopefully you say yes if it means getting laid. Let me see here. Okay. Aha, here it is. Hold on. Let me show people this. When it comes up, it might take a second. Fourth Yard says, be careful what you say and do in the garden because corn has ears and potatoes have eyes. And beanstalk. Okay. That was really corny. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Let me get this pulled up here so people can see what I'm looking at. And then I will share it. Here we go. Look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. Regent BR9 high power stainless 9mm new inbox for sale secondhand. There you go. And no one's bought it. I'm like, good God, people. Although this guy says you got to come over and meet him in Tiger. I'm in Washington, not Oregon, but still, I'm sure maybe he could be convinced to come to Washington. Let me stop this sharing. But that was over on Northwest Firearms. That's why I was thinking of Northwest Firearms. Because when I was doing a search for that gun, and I could see if I could find any secondhand, that popped up. Let me see here. That picture gave me a chubby. It's Turkish. Yes, it's Turkish, but secondhand, you're not giving any money to them because it's already sold. Now, I know some people will say, well, but it's already been sold by the distributor too, so you've already been, yeah, but if you buy it from a distributor, that encourages them to go buy another one. And I don't want to encourage them to go buy another one.
Sorry about your homie. Homies.
Let me see here. Come on, machine. There we go. Mike Ozzy Osbourne made a new holster for my SIG. What do you think? It looks nice. I like that. Of course, it's a little could possibly be considered to be just a touch egotistical to put your name on your holster. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Here, hold on a second. I want to open it so people can see it. Open attachment. There we go. Not save attachment. And I will show it here to everyone. Boop, boop, there you go. See, put his name on it. Little egotistical, but it looks nice. I'm not a big fan of the ones that have the loop on the back and then have this loop. They feel like they stick out a little bit much. I like the little other loop over here, but I know a lot of people like these, that style. They say flump. I don't know what that means. As a Patreon posse member, when will I receive my patch? Well, it depends. If you joined anywhere between last month and up back till like November, those are just now going out. I just gave the stuff to Forge from Freedom recently, and they're going out this coming week. So those are on their way to people. Well, will be on their way to people this week. Ooh, a P365. Yeah. I hear good and bad about them. I hear some people don't like them, but I hear mostly good. Mostly good. There's that little chart, earnings chart. Let me get that out of there. Okay. Arthur Lopez. Miss Lopez is asking, hey, Yankee, what kind of pistol rack was that on the top shelf of your safe, or was it built in? What is they talking about? You talking about those up there? No, those are these. You can get them in different sizes, different lengths. Like some of the ones I have are 6 guns long and some are 4. I think some are even... No, 4 and 6 seems to be like what I have mostly. And I just stick multiple ones side by side. But these seem to work very well. I forget who makes these. But if you look for these, if you look up gun racks on Amazon, just find the ones that look like this. They work really nicely. All right, it's almost 5:30. I'm going to answer the last of the questions and then get on to the pistol giveaway. Did I ever get the pistol giveaway yet? Have y'all told me the winner yet? Chainsaw, which I just had to buy a chainsaw the other day. I'm curious on your opinions. I just got a little 14-inch, not like $100 one. Well, I'm gonna get a fancy one. I just wanted to have a chainsaw here just in case. And plus, we took down that deck out back, and I had to cut that son of a bitch apart. The person who made the deck, that above ground pool deck at our house, had no understanding of actually how you build anything made of wood. He didn't recess anything or how you bias cut something or whatever to, like how when you cut the post, you overlap and cut it in a notch and bolt it from the bottom. He had no clue how to do any of that. So he would just stick posts straight down on, screw a bunch of screws through it into the deck. And then he would take big metal rods and put like metal rods coming out in every direction from it and brackets all around it. And there was just metal stuck to metal, bolted to metal, bolted to wood everywhere. And it was such a pain in the ass. Chainsaw is asking, I'm curious on your opinion on the new SC Spot. Do you think Supreme Court, I guess is what he's saying. Usually people say SCOTUS. Do you think the NRA will be able to notice that it's a huge opportunity to gain our gun rights back? Well, the NRA will not want someone that will give you your gun rights back in there, because the NRA makes its money off of leasing out your gun rights, back to the government every now and then, so they can act like they're fighting to get them back for you. So the NRA will not want someone who's very pro-gun. I'm hoping he will elect someone that is very pro-gun in spite of the NRA. Mr. Jeff 9mm. I wonder if there's a Mrs. Jeff 9mm. Or she 10mm. She's the boss. Is this for the puppies? I like puppies. So Yankee, which do you prefer over the other? Beretta 92 series or CP226? Definitely Beretta 92. CP226 is a great gun. It's not even my favorite SIG though. P229 is probably my favorite SIG. But P226 is an amazing gun with amazing history. I just like Berettas better. That was Mr. Jeff donated to the puppy fund for that. Dick Tracy says, I kept hitting the send. I know you like your Wilson Combat Beretta 92. You should send your Browning high power next door to Nighthawk Customs. I just got mine back and is now my favorite gun. I would kind of like to do that, but I don't have the kind of extra money to do that right now. Wonder if I bought that stainless one, if they would do any upgrades to that. It's the same freaking gun from all I can read. I've seen everyone say that pretty much all the parts fit like in both, except for some of the barrels. Well, they changed their barrels at one point. Some of them had that little humped feed ramp and some don't. And I think that was like in the 80s they changed that. So I think it's got the style pre-80s or 80s and earlier style barrel. So I'm gonna have to do some research. But yeah, I would love to send one to Browning High Power and get it fixed up. I'd like to see something done for Browning. Do you have any pictures of yours? If you do, send me a picture of yours so I can see what it looks like after Browning High Power got done with it. Ben Shapiro is on the Trump list for potential Supreme Court judge. Yeah, he won't get it. Kyle the Haas, Beretta APX subcompact. Have you fired one or know anyone who has? I have not fired one of the subcompacts yet. I didn't even fire the compact. So no. Oh, the one I had was full size. It was awesome. Just didn't do it for me. But like I say, didn't tickle my pickle, so I gave it. I sold it. Got something else. Because not every gun's going to do it for you. Even if it's a great gun, you move on to something else. There's other things to. I thought I saw something moving out of the corner of my eye, but I did not. It's just a little black lid. Those little caps that go like when you buy a new cleaning brush for your boar brush, and it's got that little tube with the black cap on it. It's just a cap, and I thought it was moving. It is not. I'm pretty sure it's not moving. Nope, still where it was. Kevin Wendell in the chat is begging to see a Chiappa Rhino. Well, you're going to have to keep begging because I ain't got any within reach of me right here. Do a web search. All my Chiappas are in the safe back there. That's just way back there, walking. Ugh. Like Roger says on Family Guy. Ugh, stairs. Tom, Gunbroker H9. Dear Yankee Marshall. Attached pictures are of the Hudson H9 with a reflex sight. Any comments? Yeah, it looks nice. I like the Hudson H9s. I haven't bought one, but I like them. Now, the only problem I have with that gun right there is there's no co-witnessing. So I won't use a red dot sight if I can't co-witness. So, okay, I think we are done taking questions for today. Oh, one popped up. Will you ever carry one of your 686s again? Well, I might, but I still carry the same thing. A 586 is the same thing. It's just not stainless. But yeah, I could very easily see me carrying my 686, the unfluted. Like when I send this back, eventually be refinished again. Because, when I get a certain amount of wear on them, I send them back, just let them be stripped and refinished. And once I do that again, it's like every 3 or 4 years, probably on a heavy carry gun. I'll carry my 686 probably while it's gone. And I'm sure I'll carry other things between now and then just to test carry guns, but we'll see. But okay, that's all the questions answered. And I got through all the emails too, I do believe. I might have missed some because sometimes I start to read the email and then I go on a rant or just fade off for something. You've seen me fade out. I think people could tell when I'm faded out for a second. I'll start thinking about boy, I like marshmallows or something like that, which I'm not that big a fan of marshmallows, but I do like marshmallows. So I miss some that way sometimes. But okay, let's do the TYMP pistol project so this person can get back with me this week. I wish I could read through these things beforehand, so I know what I'm reading. I'm cheap, suck it, says Royal V. Well, you're not that cheap. You donated $2 to the puppy fund. If you were super cheap, you wouldn't have donated anything. So I don't know if I find you a reliable source or not. But we'll see. Okay, let's just do this, and then I'm going to go eat dinner. Okay, this is the recipient of the TYMP pistol project of this week. This is their entry. I will read it now. Hello, Yankee. I'm not doing a voice or anything. I just want to let you know that I'm reading their thing. Hello, Yankee. I normally don't sign up or do this type of thing, but my friend told me about your pistol project, and I thought I should tell you my story. I worked the late shift alone at a local copy store and would get lots of nights where I am alone in the store with customers. It has been good there up until recently when I had a man try and get into my car while I was in it when I was leaving work. I have a stun gun that I keep on me, and I didn't have to use it. It did shake me up quite a bit. I realized that with a stun gun, I am limited to having an attacker virtually on top of me before I can protect myself. Well, that's true. Unless you got one of those ones that shoots out the cables like I have. I have since switched shifts, but I am interested in getting a firearm, if nothing, so that I can feel that I could protect myself if I had to. I have considered carrying a firearm, but I am in the predicament where I have bills piling and a family to feed, and something always comes above it. Thanks for listening. And thanks for considering me for the pistol project, Natasha S. See, now this here to me is a perfect entry. It doesn't take a big event to scare somebody and make them realize, hey, I should probably be able to defend myself. This was no life or death situation. It's just someone that would like to be able to exercise their Second Amendment rights and isn't financially able to. This is the kind of person I really want to get to. Of course, I definitely want to help people that live in bad neighborhoods and stuff like that too. But I like just regular entries like this sometimes. So you are the winner, Natasha S., which that sounds Russian. Maybe you aren't the winner. I think you might have ties to Russia. We'll have to do an investigation to see if you have any ties to Russia first. And then, well, we'll give you the gun first, but then if it turns out you have any ties to Russia, you're going to give it back. I'm doing any collusion going on here. But what was I going to say? Oh, you are the winner. So congratulations. So just give us a text back with your or he will send you Vincenzo Lamberto, everyone's little favorite greasy little Italian, will send you an email asking for your info. I assume he's Italian. Hope he's not Greek. That would be mean to call him Italian if he was Greek. But he will send you an email asking for your contact information. And yeah, tasers always don't work that well. I've seen too many tasers taken away from people that try to use it, especially women trying to use a taser because they have to get close enough to get their arms and stuff grabbed, and that sometimes don't work out too well. The little stun gun types, the times we got to touch people. Does she have a guy at home named Boris? No, but I used to have two St. Bernards named Boris and Natasha, and they were dumber than fucking rocks. Boris, I've told people this before, I used to come home on the school bus. He'd be waiting for me. And my grandfather was working on the porch and took down the metal railings. And he used to come out every day, sit down on the top step and lean against the railing and sit there for me when I got off the bus. As the bus pulled up, he'd come out there and do that, sit there and lean and wait for me to get off the bus. My grandfather was working on the porch. He took down the railings and just had some big 4x4s holding up the porch. And there was no railing where Boris would usually come sit. So every day for like a week, Boris would come out, sit down, and go to lean against railing that wasn't there and then fall into the bushes. Never figured it out. So figure that out. So I don't think St. Bernards are the smartest dogs. At least he wasn't. But Natasha once, though, did pick up a 45-pound pit bull and shake it like a rag doll and throw it because it got too close to her puppies. It was our neighbor's dog got out and came over into our yard and got near her puppies. And even though she was a sweet, big old dog who weighed about 115 pounds, she was huge when she's pregnant. Well, no, she was maybe more than 115. She was huge. And picked up that pit bull and shook him like a rag doll. But I think we got way off topic, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, well, that's this week's recipient of the TYMP Pistol Project. So it says phone says it can't recognize my voice. I'm not saying anything, but thanks everyone for coming. Thanks for those of you that actually still do support me on Patreon. I hope there'll be more of you next month instead of less. I'm tired of this being there less every month. I want to be more next month than last month. So we will see. But thanks to everyone for coming. Let's hope we get a good Pro Gun Supreme Court nominee here coming up in the next week or so. So maybe we'll have something like that to talk about here in the next week, because he's going to announce it on the 9th. So that'll be the day after the next Sunday's podcast. But then the Thursday after is a podcast. So we'll have time to talk about it then. So thanks to everyone for coming. Thanks to everyone who supports me. Thanks to everyone who supports the channel. I really appreciate it. And so do the people I'm sure that are the beneficiaries of the TYMP Pistol Project. So I will see you all again this Thursday. Until then, talk to you later.